Hi, and welcome back to another episode of Jen and Dan's Natural Healing with Plants. I am Jen, or Holistic Jen. I'm a health educator and a health coach and a master herbalist, and I help people with culinary nutrition, culinary coaching. And I'm here with my partner, Dan.
Hey Jen, how are you doing?
I'm good. How are you?
Good, good. Yeah, my name's Daniel, or Dan the Natural Man on the internet, and I'm a master herbalist and health coach. I help people get healthier by using herbs, plant-based nutrition, and exercise.
Yes. And we both went to the School of Natural Healing. That's where we met. And so we both are master herbalists. We both believe in root cause care and bringing the body into balance. The body was created to heal itself. We just have to put things in place so the body will take care of itself. So today we wanted to talk about pain management and how to manage pain, relieve pain, ease pain, because that's something that is just so common to so many people. And painkillers can be so harmful. From they can really set you back, and they mask things. If we have pain, that is an alarm in your body saying something's wrong. We need to look and see what is creating the pain. Sometimes we know what it was, but we need to get to the root cause to help the body heal to permanently relieve the pain.
Yes, and I like the way you say that because a lot of people will go to a pain management clinic, and a lot of times they'll just give them these very strong painkillers, and those are highly addictive. I mean, there's a epidemic in America, people getting addicted to these painkillers prescribed by the doctors, and we could go on and on about that, but they also have a lot of side effects like organ damage. So
Right, right. Yeah. And so, what are some things like what is the first thing that you think we should do when someone, says, well, let me back up a little bit. What will happen to me is someone will call me or contact me and say, um, I've been taking Tylenol for blah, 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 or Advil for blah, blah, blah. And I want to get off of this. So what herbs should I take?
well, here we go. But I actually make a tincture that helps people. It's got turmeric. Turmeric's a big one that I use because it's a very potent anti-inflammatory. But you do have to mix it with some kind of, it was called peppercorn, black pepper, because it
Mhm.
helps the absorption.
Right, right.
And of course, the I combine that with ginger, and you can also use white willow bark.
Yeah, that's one of my favorites too, is the white willow bark. Yeah. But one of the first things that I'll do when someone asks is I'll say, why are you taking the Tylenol, or the Advil or whatever it is that you're taking, so that we can figure out, what's going on. Why are you taking this to begin with? Is there something else that we can do in addition to using the herbs too? And a lot of times it's inflammation, which is why the turmeric helps. Turmeric is such an anti-inflammatory, as well as the ginger. Ginger, I don't know why ginger doesn't get as much attention as the turmeric, because they're both fabulous. Um, yeah. There are some people that do have are more prone to high levels of uric acid and kidney stones. And so for those people, I do watch for curcumin. Curcumin can actually not be the right thing for someone with a history of kidney stones. But then we have to get back to that root cause too. Why are they having kidney stones? And so a lot of times, if you're taking, maybe you have kidney stones and that's why you're taking pain medicine, then turmeric's not going to really help. But like I said, we have to get to the root cause. But there are some other things that can help too. And I really like things like some homeopathic remedies too. Arnica is fabulous. And peppermint, menthol, that cooling effect too. But pain can come from so many different levels too. Like, is the pain a headache? Is the pain, from an injury? anything like that, inflammation, stuff like that.
Yeah, you have to look at their whole lifestyle again, the way we always start with a client, but you're right. If it's a headache, it could be a migraine headache. It could be caused from stress or not drinking enough water. A lot of people don't know that if you're not hydrated, it can cause joint pain. It can increase your the risk of having headaches. And of course, Jen, you talk a lot about gluten. Gluten can inflame
Yes.
people.
Yeah, that's what I was going to say next was the food. It could be something that you're eating. For me, it's peanuts. But for some people, I mean, and sometimes right away that a certain food is causing inflammation or pain, but sometimes you don't. Like now, when I eat something like peanuts or peanut butter, I usually a couple hours later I notice right away. But it used to be I didn't notice for like 3 days, and so it just depends on where you are in your health, how well you can tolerate certain things that maybe are inflammatory to you, but you don't know it. Like certain foods, I'm trying to think of something right now, like, well, some bell peppers. So some people, bell peppers are fabulous, very high in vitamin C and antioxidants and fiber and water and all of these things. And they can be wonderful and nourishing for one person, but someone who has a nightshade issues, it's the wrong food for them. And so we have to look at everybody individually, first of all, and realize, when we're looking at pain, sometimes we have to look at the food. Sometimes we have to, and like I said, I mean, I know someone who can't even eat apples. They have a reaction when they eat an apple, and so it'd be the perfect health food. But for them, it's not the right food. And once again, we have to get to the root cause of why. But whenever we're dealing with pain, first we have to look at the individual and see what's behind this pain.
Yes, it's very interesting. I think
Yeah.
I read an article. Well, it wasn't an article, it was one of the classes from Dr. Schultz. There's a lady, she had lower back pain and she'd been to all these specialists. I think it was sciatic nerve pain, which is supposed to be incredibly painful. And she'd been to chiropractors and doctors and other practitioners. Nobody could figure it out. And Schultz asked her, Have you ever done it? Have you ever done a colon cleanse? She goes, What does it have to do with my back pain? He said, Well, if your colon is enlarged because you're backed up, it can actually press on nerves. And so she did the colon cleanse, and that's what it was. She was backed up and it was actually pressing on that nerve. And when she cleaned her colon, the pain went away. So that's another thing we always talk about looking at is the bowel movements.
Right. Right.
Yeah.
Which sounds so simple,
Yeah.
but for some reason, it's not something that we go to right away.
A lot of people don't want to talk about it. I don't know why, but it's very important to have a good bowel movement. I mean, at least 2 or 3 a day I like to have. And of course, we
Yeah.
talk about that a lot because your gut health is also going to lead to inflammation if it's out of balance. So,
Right. Yeah. And if it affects your mood, it's going to affect other parts of your body as well.
yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. So other than that and herbs and homeopathic remedies, what are some tools that can help with pain management?
Well, I like if you can afford massage therapy, I think that if you can find a good massage therapist, if you have muscle pain, that is excellent. I,
Yes.
I have one in town and she is a miracle worker.
Yeah. 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 I was thinking about that and chiropractor, even reflexology.
Even
Yeah.
acupuncture helps some people depending on what's going on.
Right. Right. So there are other tools too that are useful in looking into.
And a good physical therapist. If it's
Oh yeah.
some kind of a muscle injury or joint injury,
Mhm.
they can work wonders.
Oh yeah. Yeah. And it could just be something simple, something out of alignment
Oh yeah.
too. Mhm.
Hmm.
Mhm. Um, can you think of anything that we've missed?
Let's see. Of course, I have found over the years if you're having stiffness in a muscle or joint, sometimes if you just start walking, like a walking routine. I mean, you probably woke up, Jen, before with a stiff back or a leg or something. If you
Mhm.
just go on a walk, it'll start to loosen up and feel a lot better. A lot of times we're just stiff from sitting too much, you know?
Right, right, right. Yeah, and our bodies are made to move, and a body in motion stays in motion. So yes, trying that. Yeah, don't let the pain make you just stay where you are and not move. Yeah, yeah,
And
that's
water
really important.
therapy comes to mind. Like most of your gyms, especially your YMCA's, have a pool exercise, which is incredible for people with a lot of joint pain because you can exercise in the water and it takes the pressure off your joints, but you get to move them and loosen them up. And so it's
Right.
great.
And right before you said that, I was thinking of hot and cold therapy.
Yes.
Yeah, hot and cold therapy. So where you apply heat and then you alternate with cold and just alternating to help pump blood to the area. You know, the heat brings the blood to the surface and then the cold moves it away. And so you're just kind of pumping blood to the area. Or even castor oil packs.
Yep.
Yeah, can be helpful in under certain conditions. Castor oil is wonderful fat for many, many different things, but this depends on you and what's going on.
I can't think of it. Well, I think we covered everything as far as natural pain relief, but all these things, I make it sound uh kind of impotent, but it's not. If you incorporate some of these things, you'll be surprised how much better you'll feel. Because I was listening to a coach at one point, he's working with some old guys that had arthritis in the knees, and he was teaching them how to squat properly.
Mhm.
And over time, when their muscles got stronger, their knees started to feel a lot better because the muscles surrounding your joints is actually, if you get them strong, it takes a lot of the stress off of your joints.
Right.
So strengthening and stretching muscles. Everybody should be doing that. And that may be one of the reasons you're in pain because you're weak and stiff.
Right. Right. Yeah,
So,
that's great.
yeah.
Yeah, that's a great solution. Anyway, if you are dealing with pain, we want to hear what you've tried. If you learned something new today, if you enjoyed this episode, or even if you didn't, we'd love to hear from you. So as we wrap this up, I want to remind you to share this with your friends and subscribe to our channel. And once again, comment because we do love to hear.